Hello and welcome back to Arsenal Domination, um, where today we will focus on the future of Kieron Tierney. It's going to be quite a short video, I think, because I think we all kind of know what's going to happen to Kieron Tierney. Kieron Tierney was one of those players that came in, really good signing from Celtic, really exciting signing, played really, really well. One of our best players, one of the few players in that sort of first season or so at Arsenal that you knew he was going to play, and when he did, he gave Arsenal a much greater chance of winning the game. And you really noticed when he wasn't there, he was flying forward. He was a leader. He was a big player around the side. He was nearly made captain. Martin Odegaard ultimately getting the armband, and I think that's proved to be the right thing for two reasons. One, Odegaard has turned into an exceptional player and a quiet leader, but a leader nonetheless, and you can see the difference it makes when he's not there. Whereas Kieran Tierney's career, as we all know, has gone the other way. Injuries have absolutely massively blighted his time. He's not played since the Euros, any football, competitive football anyway, um, but just absolutely blighted by injury in the last few years. And it's such a shame because he's such a passionate man, such a good player when he's fit, marauding left back. Um, and it definitely has had an impact on him. Uh, and it's such a shame, as I say. But does he have a future at Arsenal? Is the question. And as I say up top, the answer is obviously no. But let's explore a little bit why that is. I've spoken about the injuries. Of course, that's probably the biggest factor in this. If you can't rely on a player to be fit, you can't rely on the player, however good they are. And reality is, you cannot rely on Kieran Tierney to be fit. But I think his future is more than that. Mikel Arteta said yesterday, not yesterday, it would have been before the Monaco game anyway, um, that Kieran Tierney needed football and he needed opportunities to play. And we've got to ignore that. I mean, he's right. I mean, Kieran Tierney does need that, but he's not going to get it at Arsenal. The insinuation of that comment was he was going to get it at Arsenal. He's not going to. We've heard this before with other players, notably Emil Smith Rowe, who is thriving at Fulham, and I'm really happy for him. But it's not going to happen at Arsenal. And that's not going to happen at Arsenal for two reasons. One, he would have played some games in the last few weeks with the injuries he's had at the back if he had a future at Arsenal. But secondly, and this is not being overly picked up by reporters, and I'm surprised at that, was that the comments on him getting more opportunities or needing more opportunities that Mikel Arteta made, which, is coach speak, were followed by what I think is the truth, which is he spoke about for Kieran to play, and this is not direct quotes, but this is essentially what he said. For Kieran to play, he has to want to play in the way we want to play, and he has to be able to play in the way we want to play. Now, he didn't say that Kieran Tierney wasn't doing either of them. I think for the first one, Kieran wants to play. I think that's he sort of lives for playing football. I think he's one of those players, and I think he misses it every time he's not playing more than other players. And that's not me digging out other players. It's just some people love things. Some people it's a job. That's absolutely fine as long as you're giving everything you can on the weekend. That's all that matters. But I think the second one is really where Mikel Arteta's thinking comes in. We tried to in that Zinchenko Tierney first sort of season before he went out on loan to Sociedad last year. He tried to play that inverted role, and it's just not his natural game. He can do it to a point. He's not terrible at doing it by any stretch, but he is naturally a winger that flies up and down the pitch. And I think if you're bringing Kieran Tierney in, you either lose a lot of what he's capable of by asking him to play in a slightly different way, or you have to change the way the team plays. And neither is really ideal. Um, for Arsenal or for Kieran Tierney. Um, and I think that is the truth. So I think that tactical evolution of a side in the last few years from a bombing left back that goes up and down to a more inverted style, which right or wrongly Mikel Arteta is wedded to. And look, he's got more results going his way than haven't when he has done it. Let's not forget that. But that style is not Kieran Tierney. That coupled with his injuries make it untenable for him. So how do I see it going? I think Arsenal wanted to send him in the summer, and that injury at the Euros, playing for Scotland, scuppered any chance of that. I think Arsenal will look to get him out on loan, whether that's Celtic or Spain or somewhere in England. I don't know, but I think he needs to go out on loan. He needs to get some minutes. Arsenal need to get some minutes in his legs because he's just losing value sitting on the bench, not playing. It's one of the big criticism I had again of Arteta in the past was people were slating Edu for not being able to sell players for good value. Well, partly I think that was because he wasn't great and we had a poor reputation, but I also think part of it was we had rubbish players that he had to sell, and or we had players that Mikel Arteta wasn't using, which meant the value wasn't there. He's not going to play here. He needs to go and get football, and that will hopefully increase his value. But I think Arsenal are probably looking at, very limited sell on value here for Kieron Tierney because of those injuries and lack of minutes. Might increase if he gets it, but at this point, given Kieron Tierney's career is stalling at Arsenal, he just needs to move on for everyone's sake. I think that will happen in the summer, hopefully on a permanent for Kieron Tierney's sake, and Arsenal get some money in for him. But in essence, does Kieron Tierney have a future at Arsenal? No, he doesn't. It's done. It's over for him. And hopefully we can see an end to this for everyone's sake as soon as possible. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on Kieron Tierney. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, please like, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff, and I will speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye.